Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Flood. Wake the Giant definitely woke up Thunder Bay last night as over 3,500 screaming fans once again got to hear live music at the waterfront from a variety of amazing artists. Mitchell Ringos has the details.
The Wake the Giant Music Festival was put on once again with the goal of creating a more inclusive city, but also to welcome hundreds of Indigenous youth who attend school from remote communities into the city. The kids of Dennis Franklin Camardi attended events over the 3 days leading up to the concert, where they got VIP passes, got to throw balloons into the crowd, and even got to go up on stage. We talked to one DFC student, Lewis Chapman, on what the event means for the students.
I guess the whole game plan of this event is to try to bring all communities, all races, I guess you could say, together to form unity.
Do you think it's working?
I think so.
And the students were not the only ones living it up, as the Thunder Bay crowd was going absolutely crazy for the first big concert since the pandemic. The screaming crowd was dancing, clapping, and sitting on each other's shoulders, singing along to Loud Luxury, who brought EDM to the festival, playing some of the top songs out right now, which led perfectly into the final acts of Third Eye Blind and Jesse Reyes, who played crowd favorites to end off a night to remember. And with the addition of pyrotechnics and big-name artists, organizer for Wake the Giant, Sean Spenrath, says he heard nothing but praise for this year's festival.
Someone just summed it up best. I went to turn on the glow-in-the-dark balloons on the end of the festival grounds, came up to me and said, "Sean, I think you guys just set a precedent for what Thunder Bay Music Festival should be. An absolute banger."
And with this year's festival having such a good reaction from the public and from the artists, Spenrath says the Wake the Giant Music Festival will continue to bring this level of entertainment for years to come, and hopes this year can intrigue even more big-name artists to make the trip down to Thunder Bay. Mitchell Ringos, TBT News.
On Monday, Canadians will go to the polls to elect the 44th Parliament, following last month's snap election call by Liberal leader Justin Trudeau. Adam Riley has this recap of the contenders in all three Northwestern Ontario ridings.
Starting in the Kenora riding, Conservative incumbent Eric Malillo is facing off against four newcomers, including Liberal David Bruno, New Democrat Janine Seymour, the Greens' Remy Rowe, and People's Party candidate Craig Martin. Moving to the southeast in Thunder Bay Rainy River, Liberal incumbent Marcus Pulowski is looking to protect his seat from returning NDP challenger Yuksem Wan, Conservative Adelina Pecchia, the Green Party's Tracy McKinnon, and the PPC's Alan Abbott. And swinging into Thunder Bay Superior North, Liberal incumbent Patty Haidu is facing a five-pronged challenge from New Democrat Chantel Bryson, Conservative Joshua Taylor, Green Party candidate Amanda Monajong, Rick Daines of the People's Party of Canada, and returning Libertarian candidate Alex Vodden. TBT News will have coverage of the 2021 federal election on Monday evening and a complete recap of the results on Tuesday. Adam Riley, TBT News.
Thunder Bay City Council will vote on a proposed bylaw tomorrow night aimed at reducing the number of abandoned shopping carts in the city, and the debate on selling city parkades returns. Council will decide whether or not they want to move forward on cutting ties with the two parking structures. The parkades cost the city about $380,000 in annual losses, but some members of council think divesting them should wait until the downtown cores are revitalized, when they would be needed most.
I fully support, the idea of, in maybe several years looking at potential buyers or some options. But right now, it's I think it would be really short-sighted to take this, ginormous downtown, tool infrastructure off the table.
Meanwhile, at-large Councillor Peng Yu wants businesses to be held accountable for shopping carts scattered throughout the city. The city's latest proposal would require stores to craft a plan to manage and recover abandoned carts. If adopted, city staff would monitor the campaign for 3 years. And electricity is a crucial requirement for a modern economy. And in the Northwest, there are several hydro dams that provide power to the provincial grid. However, the intense heat of the summer has left some dams high and dry. But Atikokan's biomass generating station was able to help keep the lights on in Ontario for the past several weeks. Adam Riley has the details.
In a normal year, Ontario Power Generation's Atikokan biomass station will experience anywhere from 120 to 140 startups, but those usually only last from a couple of hours to at most a day. However, for 3 weeks from late August to early September, the station pumped out power to the province 24/7. Part of the reason comes as a result of low water levels on area lakes and rivers, preventing hydroelectric dams from producing power. However, Chief Operating Officer Mark Nemi says that isn't the only reason that caused the Atikokan plant, which is capable of supplying 200,000 homes with power by itself, to pull some serious overtime.
The requirement for this need is some transmission system work that's happening east of Thunder Bay, part of the east-west grid upgrade. An endeavor that will increase the reliability to the electrical users in northwestern Ontario.
Atikokan is a former coal-fired plant that, like Thunder Bay, was refurbished into a biomass plant. However, unlike Thunder Bay, which was demolished earlier this month, there is still time left in its contract that is set to expire in 2024. Mayor Dennis Brown is hoping that contract will be extended, considering the impact the facility has on the local economy, as some of the wood pellets used to produce power at the facility are manufactured at a plant in his community.
That's great for the area, and we certainly hope it keeps operating that way, because it's important. And now with this climate change and so on, the biomass plant becomes more important. And it is crucial for Atikokan because of the taxes that they provide. They're right in our town.
The Atikokan generating station is now in a 7-week shutdown for maintenance, which was scheduled prior to the 3-week run. Nemi says it took several agencies a combined effort to make that run work, and there is potential for the need to have the plant run for an extended period again in late 2021 or early 2022. Adam Riley, TBT News.
Habitat for Humanity and Eco Superior have teamed up to install a new rain garden outside the Restore on Squire Street. These gardens act as ecosystems for different plants and animals, but serve a much larger purpose as well. Danielle Bain reports.
Rain gardens are one way Eco Superior Program Coordinator Julia Princelar wants to increase education on stormwater management. These rain gardens capture water from hard surfaces and eliminate pollutants before the water reaches a storm drain. Princelar touched on the importance these rain gardens have on the environment.
Eventually, that water will find its way into a nearby stream or waterway, but in a much cleaner condition than it would if it were stormwater simply running off a downspout, down a sidewalk or driveway, picking up all sorts of contaminants along the way from the roads, and then running untreated into a storm drain.
Princelar wants people to know how helpful these rain gardens would be around the city and beyond.
The need, I would say, is high not only for Thunder Bay, but many areas that depend and rely on healthy water systems and also need improvements to our drainage overall in an urban watershed.
You can use these rain gardens to help purify water before it goes to drains, but they also help utilize water as a resource, especially when water levels are low.
As we see with the impacts of climate change, we're seeing heavy rainfall events more frequently, but also, like we saw this summer, times where we need that water, where there's almost like a near drought and record low water levels.
The partnership between Eco Superior and Habitat for Humanity began in 2019 when they started adding rain gardens to their new builds. Things slowed down during the pandemic, but CEO of Habitat for Humanity Thunder Bay, Lana Vukelik, says they're back building more rain gardens to help raise awareness about the many positive impacts they have on the environment.
Not only is it beautiful and it's a tranquil place to sit, and kind of ponder life, but it does its purpose, and that's what we're really after. We want to help the city through our partnerships.
Eco Superior provides both a financial incentive and an educational program on how individuals can install their own rain gardens at their homes. Danielle Bain, TBT News. Terry
Fox's dream of a world free of cancer lives on. as the 41st annual Terry Fox Run for Cancer Research got underway earlier today, and the run this year was once again held in a virtual setting. The run started for everyone signed up at 2 p.m., where they got to run around 5 kilometers in support of cancer research virtually from a location of their choosing. The run usually takes place for all participants at Boulevard Lake, but for the past 2 years, Thunder Bay Terry Fox Run chairperson Don Morrison and his family and friends ran the Boulevard trails on their own. Even though the event was digital, Morrison says it's important to keep the event running to fundraise for such an important cause.
They've raised $850 million for cancer research over those number of years. So to keep the money flowing, to find a cure to cancer, we got to keep doing it. Terry ended his run here, so there's been a strong connection with Thunder Bay with the Terry Fox Run.
You can make donations to the Cancer Research Fund online and purchase t-shirts there as well. Morrison says even with a strong turnout this year, they hope to see even more at next year's event, with the goal to be back to an official run with all the community and ceremonies together in person as usual. Wow, 41 years, hard to believe since Terry Fox's run. Here with Kurt Black. And Kurt, we got some good local hockey coming back.
Absolutely, Alex. It's been so long since we had some SIJHL action. Yes. But last night, it kicked underway here in Thunder Bay down at Cam River at Norwest Arena. We've got all that more and more after the